Woohoo!
Hello, everyone. We're going to wait as some participants join our webinar today. Thank you all for joining us. All right, in the interest of everyone's time, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us all today for the Virtual College Exploration Series for all Pennsylvania students. I'm here as a PACAC volunteer, so thank you all for joining us for today's session, which is about STEM education in Philadelphia. A few housekeeping reminders. This session is being recorded, but your camera and microphone are going to be turned off during the entire session, and your panelists can't see or hear you. If you'd like to ask a question, you can use the Q&A button to type your question to the presenters at any time, and they will answer the questions when the time is appropriate. Today's session will be recorded, and there are many other sessions throughout this month that are going to be offered. And if you can't catch any of the others, but you'd like to watch on demand later, you can visit pacac.org/virtual, and that's where you can see links to all of the recordings. About a week after today's session, this one will also be posted. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chris Horn, and I'm going to be the moderator today. In my day job, I work at a high school in South Philadelphia called Mastery Charter Thomas Campus, and I do college and career advising for 12th grade students. So if you're in 12th grade or your student is, I feel the stress already coming through this side of the camera of all the decisions you might be making, financial aid applications that you might be thinking about. We have got an extraordinary panel for you today, and it is my pleasure to be here with such esteemed schools. We have got quite the representative panel from all around Philadelphia, and the goal of today's panel is that we're going to showcase some of the amazing opportunities to study specifically STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math in Philly. So we're going to go over some of the academic majors, the co-op and internship opportunities, research programs, scholarships, extracurriculars, you name it, we've got it. And we've got great people here who are going to share a little bit about the schools that are on our panel today. Before I hand it over to them, just a quick outline. We'll do a little bit of an introduction at first, where we'll have each of the colleges tell you a brief amount about themselves, and then we'll go into an open-ended Q&A that'll largely be driven by the questions that you submit, as Abby mentioned, through the bottom of your screen at that Q&A button. One final note before I transition to them is I just wanted to say too, I'm from outside Boston originally, and I've lived in Philly for a number of years now, and I've loved it. And it is an exciting place to be a college advisor because I can very confidently tell my students and their families that they have great options around the corner from themselves. And in these crazy times that we're in right now, it is probably more important now than ever to have local options that are maybe commutable from home, that you can feel safe that your students are going to. All right, before I turn it over to the panelists, we want to get to know you in the audience a little bit more. As you know, we can't see you, we can't hear you. So we'd like you to go on your phone, on a computer, to the website that's on the screen right now, bit.ly/36, and then the capitalization matters here, capital D, lowercase c, y, capital Y, 7. And it's going to ask you just 3 really brief questions about whether you are a student, a family member, what grade you're in, and what your location is. So thank you for doing that. While we get your results in, I'm going to transition now to a brief overview of our schools. So we've got Temple University, Drexel, St. Joe's, and Thomas Jefferson University represented here today. And that is a mixture of public and private and large and small. And you can see geographically they're close to highways and on public transit lines, which they'll be able to highlight for you in just a couple minutes. And as the results are coming in, I'll show you one more little bit of information. Here's a brief overview about each of our schools. Thank you to the 4 folks who have already submitted your survey. And it looks like we've got students largely in grade 11, 2 students in grade 11, 1 in 10th and 1 in 12th, in Doylestown, Jameson, PA, Bensalem, and on 46th Street. One final time that I'm going to leave this slide up there for another few seconds. You can always take a picture or a screenshot of that. Thank you so much to those who are submitting your responses. Got a 5th one in now, so we have another 12th grader with us. All right, and as you're sending those in, I'm going to first start off with our friends over at St. Joseph's.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Jackson. I'm from the Office of Undergraduate Admission at St. Joe's. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Edwin Lee from the Biology Department. He's one of the faculty members there. And today, we're going to talk a little briefly about the STEM opportunities that we have at St. Joe's. We're glad that you could join us today. And we hope that you learn a lot and can persuade you to stay in the area to study these very, very important fields that are a part of the future of our world. Chris, could you go to the next slide for me, please? So as you see on the screen, we have a variety of majors and minors for students who are interested in going to the STEM fields. We have programs from actuarial science to physics, and minors such as animal studies, all the way down to computational engineering and applied physics. There's a good thing about St. Joe's is that we're a Jesuit university, and as such, we provide a holistic education where students really get to create their academic programs based off of a lot of their interests in the courses that they've taken. So here you have the opportunity to really do a lot of majors and minors. And so you could be a STEM minor and still have a major in one of the humanities or the social sciences, or you can possibly do a STEM major along with another STEM minor to kind of enhance that. One of those programs is biology and animal studies. A lot of students who are interested in going to veterinary medicine end up taking those 2 courses in cohesion with each other. And so you have the opportunity to really kind of craft a wonderful education in the STEM fields here at St. Joe's. Could you go to the next slide for us, please? And I'm gonna let Dr. Lee kind of talk about our experiential learning opportunities, and I will come back with about the scholarships. Dr. Lee?
Okay, thank you very much, James. I hope everybody can hear me. I am Edwin Lee from the Biology Department at St. Joseph's University. So I was asked here to just briefly, and they told me to be brief about all of the, to give you a glimpse of the experiential learning that we provide at St. Joe's. So you can see they're listed, 4 of them: the Summer Scholars Program, the Pathways to Medical Professions, the Institute of Clinical Bioethics, and the program that we have currently relatively new with Thomas Jefferson and the Kinney Center for Autism Education and Support. So very quickly, the first one, the Summer Scholars Program, is sort of like your paid internship. Students here work for 10 weeks, they get paid, and they do faculty mentored research. So, but it's not only work. In addition to the work, we program activities throughout the summer. For example, there are trips to the Phillies game, to the museum, etc. So it's really quite a summer experience that we offer. I'm going to highlight them just very quickly, 2 related to biology because I'm from the biology department. The Pathways to the Medical Professions program. It's something that was developed about 2 years ago through conversations that we had with our medical alumni. We asked our medical alumni what were better ways in which we can prepare our students for admissions into medical school. Based on that conversation, we developed this program, and many of our alumni have volunteered to be also mentored in the program. And we have the Institute for clinical bioethics, and then in addition, the Kinney Center for Autism Education and Support. This is brand new with Thomas Jefferson. And in here, students can, through this program and other requirements as a student, they have to major or minor in autism behavioral studies. But after completing all the requirements at the end, they do get admitted into Thomas Jefferson, the Kimmel Medical College, immediately without taking the MCAT. So that's a really, really attractive selling point of this program. So I think I was brief. Now, James.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. And as you can see, we also have 3 specific scholarships, extra scholarships that are available to students who are interested in the STEM fields. I encourage you to go and look at the different requirements that they cause by going to sju.edu/scholarships. Chris, if you could go to the next slide for me, please. And lastly, we just want to discuss that why St. Joe's is worth coming to study STEM. You'll be happy to know that 97% of our students who have graduated within 6 months of graduation, they either working full-time, they're in a postgraduate program, or they are in a full-time volunteer program. And in the last 10 years, 70% of our students who have applied to medical school have gone on to medical school. So if you're interested in being a doctor or going into any form of medicine, St. Joe's is a good place for you to get your start. Thank you.
All right, next up, we've got our friends at Thomas Jefferson University.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. My name is Ron Kander. I'm Dean of the Canbar College of Design, Engineering, and Commerce here at Thomas Jefferson University, and I'm also Jefferson's Associate Provost for Applied Research. Jefferson is a professional university born out of a unique merger of Philadelphia University here in beautiful East Falls and Thomas Jefferson University in Center City. Through our distinctive and award-winning 21st century curriculum called Nexus Learning, we will prepare you with the knowledge, skills, and abilities you need to succeed and be leaders in your STEM profession of choice. Next slide, please. We are a university with preeminence in transdisciplinary experiential professional education, research, and discovery, with excellence in architecture, business, design, fashion, engineering, science, health, medicine, and textiles, all infused with the liberal arts. This is a list of the STEM-related degree programs that we offer at Jefferson. So what differentiates Jefferson's STEM programs? Our faculty partner with our students in teams of mixed disciplines across the academic levels and with industry partners to attack transdisciplinary applied real-world problems. So you can develop industry-facing skills, knowledge, and abilities to make you ready for the world of work. So it's not unusual to see a freshman engineering student working with a junior design student, a senior biochemistry student, and a graduate MBA student on some industry project doing some research. Next slide, please. Because of this, we currently place our graduating students in jobs in their industry of choice or in their graduate school of choice at a rate of 97%, as you just saw with our colleagues at St. Joe's. At Jefferson, we are more about providing you experiences than simply teaching you facts. We focus on critical thinking skills and practical applications. I think about it as transforming facts, information, through critical thinking, inquiry, into knowledge, insights. So information to inquiry to insights. Next slide, please. So finally, this is just a sampling of some of the industry partners we've worked with over the past couple of years and where some of our graduates are now working. We believe your ability to go from information through inquiry to insights and your ability to communicate those insights to a decision maker in a compelling enough way to make something happen is what will make you a leader in your profession in one of these companies. And that communication piece is critical. This is what we're all about here at Jefferson. That's why we say we are redefining what is humanly possible. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Ron. Up next, we've got Drexel.
Hi, welcome to the Drexel portion of the presentation. My name is Kapil Dandekar. I'm a professor of electrical and computer engineering. I'm also the Associate Dean for Enrollment Management and Graduate Education in the College of Engineering at Drexel University. I'm joined by my colleague, Christy Ruggieri, in our Office of Enrollment Management and Student Success. So I'm here to talk to you now about Drexel University, which is a comprehensive research university and experiential learning leader in Philadelphia. And you can see a picture on our campus. If you could go to the next slide, please. So Drexel has a wide variety of STEM majors that are listed on this slide. You can see our College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Engineering, Biomedical Engineering, Computing and Informatics, Nursing, Medicine, and Entrepreneurship, and as well as our School of Public Health. So we are a comprehensive university. We do offer combined and accelerated degree programs as well. If you could go to the next slide, please. So beyond the books, Drexel is a Carnegie Foundation R1 designated university. This is the highest level of research activity by the Carnegie designation. And this is something that we're very proud of because there aren't many private universities that are that have this designation. It speaks to the research excellence of our faculty and our ability to work with students to translate material back and forth between our laboratories and the classroom. In terms of innovation, Drexel was recently named the top mid-sized university for innovation impact by the George W. Bush Center. This is something that is related to our worldwide ranking in utility patents that are granted in the United States. We're number 54 worldwide. And one of the things that I really love about Drexel is that when we get patents, we're not doing it just to get a plaque on the wall. I write patents with my students all the time, and we involve try to get that technology licensed by external partners. And I've been fortunate enough to see in my time, my nearly 20 years working at Drexel, the entrepreneurial nature of our students as they start new companies and get technologies licensed by major companies. In terms of undergraduate opportunities, there are a wide variety of STEM programs that are available. I'll just list a couple of them. The first is our Students Tackling Advanced Research program. This allows students to get placements in labs in the summer of their freshman year and to get full-time paid experience working on research projects with our faculty and our facilities. We also have launched our Vertically Integrated Projects program, which allows students across all majors and all age levels from undergraduates to graduate students to work together on long-term projects. And this is a program that we recently started at Drexel and also allows us to nurture the creative abilities of our students. Finally, Drexel is known for our cooperative education program. So many of our students are for the same price as a 4-year program and a 5-year program that allows for 3 cooperative education experiences of 6 months in duration. And Drexel has been doing cooperative education for over 100 years, and we have a large employer database. And this allows us to match up students with industrial partners and get this long-term work experience. So our graduates, if you go to the next slide, have very good outcomes. When they get their undergraduate degrees, they've often had multiple work experiences. They know how to job interview, and we have companies that are very eager to hire our students. So we have a strong placement rate in terms of our graduates, and we have lots of graduates who are very happy with the outcomes of their program. So thank you very much for your attention. Happy to answer any questions that you might have about Drexel, and thanks to the organizers again for inviting us.
Thanks so much, Kabil. As we transition to Temple's presentation, I would encourage folks in the audience, you can start submitting questions if you have any. You don't have to wait for that time. They'll kind of load up in a queue, and then I'll be able to direct them to the appropriate colleges. So feel free to submit at any time. And last but certainly not least, our friends over at Temple.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courtney Bradshaw, and I'm a first-year admissions counselor here at Temple University. I'm here with my colleague, Danny London, who is the undergraduate enrollment coordinator for the College of Science and Technology. So we're just going to give you a little bit of an overview of Temple University and the STEM programs that they have to offer. And you can go to the next slide, please.
Great, thank you, Courtney. As Courtney mentioned, my name is Danielle London, and I work in the College of Science and Technology that you can see listed on the screen here. I am also happy to say that I am a proud alum of St. Joseph's University, and I actually got my start in higher education at Jefferson. So I feel like I'm surrounded by some old friends and then some new friends at Drexel. So on this slide here, you can see Temple has 17 different schools and colleges, and these three listed here are where our STEM majors are located. So we have CST, the College of Science and Tech, the College of Engineering, and the College of Public Health. When you apply to Temple, you're applying as a Temple student. You select the major that you'll apply with, but you can easily switch into any of the other schools and colleges if that's what interests you. I've listed on these slides the departments that are within each of the schools and colleges, and you can explore a little more, but to give you an idea, two of our newest majors in the College of Science and Technology are genomic medicine and data science. So genomic medicine is a really important field, especially right now. It's right at that intersection of evolution, genomics, bioinformatics, and disease. So we have a full Bachelor's of Science in that program, and then data science as well. Data science I like to describe as, think about when you're on Spotify listening to music and they curate playlists that are specific to your interests. A data scientist pulled together all that data of all the other listeners and gave you those predictions. So we're constantly trying to come out with new and innovative major offerings for our students. Chris, you can go to the next slide. So one of the things that we love to say about Temple is while we are a large school, we have about 30,000 undergraduate students. The structure of the schools and colleges allows you to have personalized resources based on your academic interests. So some of the key resources that we have for our STEM majors. So we too, like our friends at Drexel, have the R1 Carnegie classification of research. So our faculty members are not just teaching you in the classroom, but they are dedicating their life's work to their research, and students are able to participate in that. One of the biggest ways we do that is through the undergraduate research program, where students will apply to work under a faculty researcher either for the semester for course credit or over the summer as a paid internship opportunity. We also have our health sciences campus, which is located just 10 minutes down the road from our main campus. This is the home of our Temple University Hospital and our other health professional schools. So the nice thing is that students can structure their schedule so that you're in class, 3 days during the week, and then 2 days during the week you're volunteering or doing research on our health sciences campus, getting that real hands-on learning experience. And then last but not least, each of our schools and colleges, so CST, Engineering, and Public Health, they have their own centers for professional development. So, as you can imagine, as a STEM student, your resume is going to look a little different than a business student. So we help you with writing those and interview coaching and everything that you need to put your best foot forward. Lastly, of course, we have tons of different student organizations for you to choose from. So the ones listed here, STARS, that is a computing corp that pairs up with schools in the Philadelphia School District to teach the kids how, some beginning programming and coding. TUEMS is a student-run first response team on campus, so you can get certified as an EMT. And then lastly, FIMRIC is our Foundation for International Medical Relief of Children, where students are actually able to travel overseas and provide direct patient care to underserved populations. So we're all about getting you that hands-on experience while you're in school. Next slide, Chris. Then finally, you put that all together, and like the other schools, I think that you can feel really good about the majors that you find yourself interested in. These are stable, lucrative careers, especially now. You're going to be doing meaningful work that's going to make a change in the world, and these are just some of the places where our students have gone on to work and study. So happy to be on the panel and happy to see what questions you have for us.
Thanks so much, panelists. And we do have one question that has come in so far. And thank you to our audience members. Feel free to ask any questions related to what you just saw or to break outside of the box. I'm sure you're also curious about how to bring the campus to life in terms of study abroad and living on campus, relationships. What's it like to do research? What opportunities are there? How do you meet professors? That sort of thing. So the first question that came in is specifically directed toward Drexel. and Temple, but I think everyone actually can take a turn answering this one. Are there any internships or programs that high schoolers can participate in? So let's start with Drexel and then go to Temple. And then if anybody at Thomas Jefferson or St. Joseph's would like to tune in, please feel free.
Sounds good. Thanks for the question. So yes, there are a number of programs that are available for high school students to participate in. We have a number of summer camps that are available through our various colleges. So we have one in the College of Engineering through our Material Science and Engineering department that we're actually expanding to include civil engineering, environmental engineering, and electrical and computer engineering. We have a program in our College of, or School of Biomedical Engineering, as well as in our computing college. So yes, we do have various summer experiences that are available. And I guess to answer the next question in the chat, we're happy to share our contact information if you want to get links to any of these specific programs. So we'll figure out a way to share that information with you.
Yeah, so the other thing I would add, hi, my name is Christy from Drexel, is I can absolutely send you those links. We have one other program, it's a high school scholars program, and since this is a PACAC Pennsylvania event, I wanted to mention that students from the Philadelphia area on a space available basis can apply to a selective program to actually take a few college courses for free and earn a transcript with credit. So if you're from the area, that's another great opportunity for to take advantage of while you're in high school.
Sure, and then for Temple, we too have some summer programs for students to get involved with for science and tech as well as engineering. If you actually go on the website, summer.temple.edu/high school, you can see some of those programs and workshops we have, and you can always email us and ask. We also do offer courses for high school students at a discounted rate if you wanted to try to take any courses while you're in school. And then I would also encourage you, there are lots of volunteering opportunities at the Temple University Hospital or our medical school if you wanted to do any shadowing or research there as well.
So I think I'm gonna try to answer for St. Joe's in here. This is Edwin Lee from St. Joe's. So there are opportunities that we have at St. Joe's. It's not as centralized as the other schools, I must say, but many of our faculty have research grants, for example, from the NSF, and they do provide funds to support high school students over the summer. So one way for students that are interested in things like that, you can get into our website, find the research of the faculty that you may be interested in, reach out to that faculty and see if the faculty has grants that will support that. I know that for this past summer, both the biology department and the physics department had planned programs for high school students, but because of COVID, everything was canceled. But they do exist. It's just a matter of asking around. And I'll be happy to point you towards the right direction, or just contact the admissions office and they'll direct you to somebody in the science, in the sciences.
I can answer. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can answer for Jefferson. Hello, I'm Megan. I'm a first-year admissions counselor here. Similarly to everyone else, we do also offer opportunities for high schoolers. Some of ours do sway more towards the health professions. So something you might want to look up is called the Future Health Professionals Program. And that's what we call a pipeline program, just to kind of get your foot in the door, get you started with opportunities like that. I would encourage you, if you're looking for anything specific, to reach out to admissions. And one of our counselors like myself can respond and get you in touch with the right people to make sure that we get you one foot in the door and down the road you need to be on.
And I'll add to that, Megan, thank you. This is Ron Kander. I can tell you that the Applied Research Office here has helped match up some high school students with existing research grants, much like St. Joe said. So if there's anybody interested in a specific topic, I could help match them up with grants. I've had 2 students last summer, not this summer, summer ago, in my labs, for example, working on projects from high schools. We also run some summer camps, again, not this summer because of COVID, but typically run an engineering camp. We've run a fashion textiles camp, and we've run a bioprocess engineering camp in the past. So we do offer those in the summers also.
Thanks, everybody. Those definitely really informative to see all the ways that you don't even have to wait until you're applying to go there to get involved in each of your schools. Now, I'm realizing that we have a really unprecedented opportunity here for our guests to hear from professors directly. And normally, folks might only be able to interact with our friends in admissions, which is great, but it's a different perspective to hear from professors. So I'd like to direct a question toward our professors that might help bring the student life on campus to light. Each of your schools has some degree of students getting involved in research and students interacting with and forming great relationships with their professors. And I'd love to hear from anybody about just maybe a moment that you've had with a student that stood out to you, a student accomplishing something that they had worked on, or a moment that maybe you're particularly proud of that involved you working with a student. I know there was a lot in there, and anybody can feel free to get us started.
Sure. This is Ron. I'll jump in on that. As soon as you asked the question the way you did, it made me think of a student specifically that I work with. So I'm an engineering faculty member in addition to my dean's role. But I had a student start with me 4 years ago, and she came from the region here, and her first year at college was tough. She had a hard time adjusting. She had a hard time getting used to classes, and academically and socially wasn't doing that well in her first semester. As dean, she came and saw me. I was able to arrange to have her start working in my research lab. And she started to do some research, started to understand sort of the context of engineering, and she got some confidence. She was also having trouble financially with school, so we talked about the opportunities, and she was able to join ROTC. And then she's been working regularly in my labs every semester, doing her ROTC leadership training. I can say that in the last 2 summers, she's had internships at Lockheed. And she told me this summer when she got back from her Lockheed, she's a senior this year, but she has a permanent job offer from Lockheed now in hand as she enters her senior year. And it's because of all the research experience in the labs and her internships and leadership training. So I've always told the students that it's not just the stuff you learned in the classroom, it's those other experiences that build out your resume. Because in the STEM majors, your transcript from any school is going to look very similar because the courses required for biology or biochemistry or engineering are very similar to be accredited. So it's those other experiences that are going to get you over the hump. What are your internships? What are your research opportunities? What are those things? So I'm really proud of her and what she's done over the 4 years she's been with us. So that's one story.
So I'd be happy to chime in as well on that. Yeah, so I mean, as I mentioned, one of the things that I've always really enjoyed is the entrepreneurial nature of our students. When I first started at Drexel, I felt that students were kind of aiming to work for large companies, to kind of that kind of safe path forward. And as the years have gone by, I've really seen pleasantly a change in the nature of the students, that everyone feels that that kind of entrepreneurial spirit now, that they feel that not that there's anything wrong with working with a large company, but students really feel empowered to go out and start their own companies. And I've had the pleasure of working with a number of students who I've written patents with, who I've discussed licensing technology to companies. One student who I worked with very closely for a number of years actually started his own company. And it was very interesting because he was just fantastic in the lab. He would do all of this really great stuff, and then after he graduated and we were still remaining in touch, I saw that he had all these powers when it came to taking classes in the business school and getting some experience with entrepreneurial interests and getting venture capitalist funding for his company. And I was very pleased when he actually made a product that was started off as something that was a project in my laboratory. So that's one of the reasons now I tell all of my students, think about stock options for your professors, but I'm just kidding. Pretty sure I'm kidding. Well, I may not be kidding, but anyway, working with students and kind of seeing that entrepreneurial spirit, I think, is something that's very rewarding, and it really, as someone who is research active, really nice to see that spirit in our students.
Hi, this is Edwin, and I'm gonna jump in here to share. I'll try to brief again about something about St. Joe's, and I'm trying to think about what is it that makes St. Joe's stand out from the other universities. I mean, each one of us here brings something different to the table so that you have choices and hopefully you'll find something that you are attracted to. But thinking about St. Joe's, of what we can do, or something that I'm proud of St. Joe's is the mentorship that we offer our students. And the mentorship, it's a relationship that we develop with the students. I've been at St. Joe's for about 10 years, and I have former students that have graduated that I can consider them not only as my former students, but as my friends. So that's something very, I think, unique about St. Joe's, and that we do very well because our size. I mean, the classroom size typically for the sciences does not exceed 25 students. Sometimes it's about 18 to 20. So that provides a lot of chances for one-on-one interaction. In terms of specific story, similar to one of my colleagues here from Jefferson, I just immediately thought about a student that recently graduated from the master's programs at St. Joe's. We have a 2-year master's program, but this student, Ryan, came at St. Joe's about 6-7 years ago. He took my freshman class. Started the freshman year, GPA, not very good. I mean, not bad, but not very good. 2.5, about okay. But I saw in him really an interest in the sciences. And right after freshman year, I proposed to him, bring up your GPA. So I encouraged him to do a little bit better, and I'll bring you into my lab. So he did that, okay? So eventually, by the end that he finished the senior year at St. Joe's, his GPA was already up to a 3.0, and then he decided to stay in the master's program. He stayed at St. Joe's in the master's program. He did research under my supervision and another professor. He finished the master's program as the top one in the master's program in biology. And now he's pursuing his PhD at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. So I'm very proud about this student and all the students that we have at St. Joe's and the relationship that we're able to develop with them.
Thanks so much, everybody. Those stories just really bring campus to life so much more. And speaking of special opportunities, and believe it or not, we only have 8 minutes left in our panel right now, but I did want to make sure that we had a chance to talk about some of the special opportunities available to STEM students. So let's just work our way top to bottom here. Maybe James from St. Joseph, if you want to start us off.
Yes, thank you. So essentially we have our BEAGLE program, which is a 4-day program. It's one of our early move-in programs where students move in typically about a week or so before other students move in onto campus during their fall of their freshman year. And it's a wonderful opportunity for students who are in those programs, biology, chemical biology, and environmental science. It gives them the opportunity to really kind of come to campus, get a jump start on the science programs, kind of meet with professors, kind of meet each other so that they are able to kind of get that head start and be well prepared by the time we get into the full swing of things on campus. As an early moving program, one of the main benefits is that students are able to come and adjust when there's a smaller environment and a smaller number of people on campus. And it is a wonderful opportunity to really kind of connect with other people who are interested in the sciences and be able to really kind of start your friend group here on campus in those early programs.
Thanks so much, James. Anybody from Temple want to take explain this portion of the slide?
Yeah, I can jump in on the STEM opportunities here. So we offer a number of accelerated bachelor's and what we're calling advanced degree programs, because we have them for whether you want to pursue a professional health degree like your MD or anything, or if you want to pursue a master's degree. We also do have what are called professional science master's degrees. So these are geared towards students that want to get, a higher scientific education, but want to go into industry rather than academia. So with all these accelerated programs, students can start their graduate coursework in either their junior or senior year, and then finish the program in an additional year or two, depending on the program, and get both their bachelor's and their advanced degree, which is a big advantage. I already mentioned the undergraduate research program, but we have tons of research opportunities on campus, whether you want to work under a faculty member or if you want to come up with your own project. We have a program called Science Scholars. This is specifically for honor students within CST. This program guarantees 3 summers of funded research. And again, that can be on Temple's main campus, the Health Sciences campus, or any other university, whether that's across the country or across the globe.
Thank you. Drexel?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so we have a number of programs that are available, and this is popular among the accelerated degree program students that we also have in our STEM majors. Our VIP program is a program that allows students across multiple ages, from undergrad to grad, to work together. In some cases, we actually even have some high school students that we're looking at for some of these projects. These are meant to work on long-term projects. So one of the things that we found as a limiting factor in many kind of curricular-based research projects is that it was kind of constrained by the academic quarter or semester. And the idea behind this program is to allow students to work together on long-term projects, so that are not constrained by an academic year or a single quarter or semester. So we have students who are working on projects that deal with advanced manufacturing techniques, new types of health systems, biomedical implants. We have students who are working on new types of functional fabrics for medical applications through this program, environmental sensing projects. So a wide variety of projects that meet the depth of and breadth of our faculty. The Students Tackling Advanced Research program is also a program. Drexel is organized into the quarter system as opposed to semesters. And in that first summer of the freshman year, that is a time when freshmen who might otherwise have off can choose to work in a research laboratory on a full-time, 40-hour per week research experience with a faculty member. And I've had many experiences working with students through this program where they use that to firm up the majors that they're interested in. You're still kind of in that introductory phase where you're taking introductory classes, but it's good to get some laboratory experience, and that can really help firm up the major selection and the career trajectory that the students are looking to pursue.
I'll answer for Jefferson, and I'll keep this brief. I know we're running out of time. So we do also offer some accelerated dual degrees where you would be getting a bachelor's degree in 3 years and then move on to start your graduate coursework a little early. So you can get a master's or a doctorate in several different programs. Just a couple that I'll mention are occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant, and then for lots of our other more creative design-oriented majors, you can work with faculty in order to really plan out your trajectory and get started on your graduate coursework early. And then the last thing I'll mention is something that Jefferson has done in the past, but that we're going to be doing more of this year, is the opportunity for full tuition scholarships. So students in STEM majors and others as well will be able to compete together for full tuition scholarships or half tuition scholarships this year. So typically in the past, we've done a lot of that with creative majors, and we're really looking to expand that. So that's something very exciting we're working on for this year.
Thank you, everybody. And it is right to point out how limited on time we are right now. So I have added a slide that shows everybody's individual contact information. So I'm just going to stop sharing right now so I can bring that back up. In our final minute, I just want to thank everybody for, thank all of our panelists for their time, as well as our students who were able to join us for this panel. If you would like to contact anybody who you just heard from, everyone's contact information is up on the screen right now. Thank you so much for your time. We do have a couple seconds if you want to send in any more Q&A. But otherwise, thanks for being here, and a virtual round of applause to our our presenters as well as our participants. I'm going to leave the contact information up there if you want to take a picture or a screenshot.
Thank you, everyone. It was so nice to have you all join us today. I'm going to share my screen for just a few more seconds of some basic housekeeping reminders. So just to give you a couple of things, when you close out your webinar today, you will have a 4-question survey pop up. We'd really like your feedback about the session today and other things you're interested in. Just a reminder that you can go to pacac.org/virtual to find this session within a week and some other sessions that you may have missed or are coming up soon. So check those out. We, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.